Hey folks, it's your old pal King Waspinator. Welcome back to Total Party Skills. Be sure to hit like and subscribe. Regular viewers have heard me talk about this before, but on the off chance that you might be new around here, I've written quite a few game books in the last year. I got 22 or 23 now on DriveThruRPG. They're also all available on Amazon. With the exception of Orc and Bone and its adventure module, they are all basically an OSR of my own design, meaning they're not D20. They're me taking the basic design principles that make OSR good and pulling them away from the D20 stuff and kind of creating an OSR game for a rule system that never really quite existed. In this instance, it's basically a simplified OSRized version of the classic storyteller rules. Only a couple of the games are direct nods, though, at any of the stuff that was put out for those rules in the 90s. Most of the games I have are framed around, classic pulp fiction or pulp sci-fi kind of concepts. And, I would dare say, considering just the sheer volume of D20 derived OSR rule books out there, if there's any advantage my stuff has, in the face of the fact that it's all self-published and it's just me on a Chromebook, it's not like I got a bunch of big supporting backers or Kickstarters or any of that kind of stuff. They have an underground zine-ish kind of quality, but that is actually an aesthetic choice in and of itself, which goes hand in hand with the fact that these are shoot from the hip, pulp fiction-y kind of story concepts. But, if you like the idea of, playing 20th century, classic, pre-World War explorer types sent back in time to explore ancient Egypt, or, ghosts and occultists, struggling over the horrors and fears of the night and a 1970s styled horror cult movie. You got Ghosts of the Shadow Zone. We got classic 80s, 90s style post-apocalyptic B-movie fiction with Amazon time barbarians. Rocket Cadets in the 11th Dimension, which is basically, as I conceive it, Flash Gordon meets Spelljammer. I mean, how could you say no to that? Escape from Planet Matriarchy, the game that started it all. If you want something that is kind of like a light White Wolf experience, but without all the gigantic amount of lore baggage that comes with a White Wolf game and its, inheritors since, I also have Pax Luporum, which allows you to play werewolves or Olympian gods who are hiding in the shadows and pulling the strings of the old Roman Republic. There's also Dracula's Carpathian Christmas, if you want something that's a little bit more tongue-in-cheek kind of a scenario. I also have a couple of, real simple, smaller scale games. There's Cowgirls versus Zombies. It's set in 1866, and the premises is some evil creatures have worked a magic spell that have summoned all the ghosts of the Civil War, and they have inhabited all the dead people and all the living men of Colorado. And so, Colorado's women are forced to band together and try to survive and or figure out a way to undo all this and all this kind of stuff. Then there's also Lady Spy Detective, which is set during the 1950s and is explicitly written to be a game for a game master to play with their girlfriend's spouse or whomever would enjoy playing a Lady Spy Detective in a noir action spy thriller set in the 1950s. Is that everything? Hopefully that's everything. If you check the description box below, there will be a link to the Total Party Skills page on DriveThruRPG. There's a sale right now for the core rule books. There's a wide variety in the source books I've put out in terms of how much they kind of both graft onto and can at times radically change the setting that they go with, which is exactly the kind of source books I like. And all those titles, if you would rather have them in print, you can get those on Amazon for print on demand. I do that through Amazon because I find they print things a lot faster than DriveThruRPG, so you'll actually get the product in your hand quicker. And also, just for my own sake on sales, to kind of spread the love and expand the potential market of people who might come across my materials and buy them. And, there's like it's not like they're not selling. And generally, for the most part, the people who've given me feedback have said good things. So, right now, while you can get the core rule books for just $4.99 if you get them as PDFs, be a good time to at least check it out. What's it gonna hurt? It's less than a gallon of gas.